Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today we have something slightly different on screen. Today we have Assetto Corsa Competizione. Now today's video is just a race I happened to record. No intention of making this into a video at all until we had this race at Monza. I actually went to record a competition server at Donington and basically nobody joined, so there's only 4 people. So kept playing for like 2 hours later and then eventually got into this lobby. End of the session, just getting into the last 2 minutes of qualifying here at Monza GT3. Might have been a mixed session actually, now that I think of it, but for the most part in the race I believe everyone's in a GT3 car. I don't think there's many GT4s in it, but at the minute and a half kind of marker as we'd go out, just to kind of get an idea, tyre pressure stuff, and get a lap and just get my eye in for braking points. Obviously Monza being such a critical track on braking, jumping straight into an online lobby full of 20 people currently. I believe there'll be 24 people when we make it to the grid, but it was just a fun race, and just when I recorded I had a great time. You see here we just finished the session as we crossed the line. There's currently 23 people in. We didn't get a set lap as we only really did our out lap just to basically get a feel of the track, make sure nothing in the car was out of the ordinary. So we are in the 488 I believe it is today, the Ferrari, but you can see 19 out of 24. We're in the final corner, we're the last couple of cars, and yeah, it's just going to be a mad race. The whole reason the video came about was just how funny it was, because I really enjoyed it at the time. I just had a podcast on and I was kind of just chilled out, and it was I think Tuesday evening when I was recording this, and I didn't really have any plans of making it, like I said, a video of this, and I just saw a lobby full Monza mixed, and I was like, this is going to be a good crack. So jumped in anyway, got my out lap in qualifying. That was it. So coming into this race, very little expectations or any sort of idea how it's going to go. I was in the bottom 5 cars, and I knew turn 1 was just going to be cars. So at this point here now I'm just keeping to my left, keeping steady, and just really getting ready to go. And yeah, you'll see in a second the carnage. It's a fun race. It's just action packed, and poor Coutinho, we'll get to him later, but it's just a mad race. So you can see down in P22 I think his name is David Coutinho. Yeah, he has a horrific race, but we are barreling down to turn 1. We're still in P19 somehow, even though we did lose the positions. And I take it nice and gingerly. They didn't. I take so much care. Backer just comes straight back on, squeezing me between Kong, and then I get punted by someone. And there again, like, I'm literally walking speed through the first chicane. Turn 1 at Monza online is just always crazy, and again even here now I'm still bouncing off cars even that we've gotten away from the corner, so it is crazy. So that's my first collision of the race. It won't be my last, I can tell you that for sure. We're down to P22 according to the bottom left, but I think that's just the overall. I think it takes a second to update. We're back to P20 into the second chicane. I believe that's 5 cars I count off. That guy just straight line cuts back or comes back from the off pack in the Alpha. This guy in the Lambo here, we're going to see a lot more of this guy throughout the race. So aggressive, but he just dives up the inside of me into the first Lesmo. Another car gone off. I think that's 9 cars in basically 2 chicanes and a Lesmo. So it's been your typical Monza lap 1 really. Started at P19, dropped to P23, up to P17 now. So it's been one of those eventful races. So far, thankfully, no damage. We've kept it somewhat clean, a few bumps here and there, but nothing too crazy. So at this point now I'm just trying to get settled into the race really, and just kind of get into my rhythm. Another 2 cars. I did really well, I felt like, to avoid. I think I just clipped him judging by the way the car kind of G'd out, but again that could have been end the race for me. It's mad. We're up to P13 now. It's just so much. I'm watching this back and I'm forgetting half of the things that have happened really. It's just such an entertaining race to watch this back. When I edited it back, there's just so many things, and again as the race goes on there's a lot more. Again, this being my first kind of push lap, you see I'm still not really up to speed with the track. I believe that is the Huracan to my right, the blue and pink one. He's about to pair and shot now, has he? No, that's another Huracan. Now this I left this clip in, right, because I don't know if this is my fault or not. I feel like I'm going to make this corner, but he kind of releases the brake and just hits me and kind of does it. It's interesting. I braked 115 meter board. You see he brakes later and just turns across me. I give him a little nudge. But like we see, I go up the inside Lambo, but I make the corner as the Lambo somehow spins behind me. He cuts the chicane. Again, turn 1, no matter what lap it is, Monza is always crazy. I was just trying to give that guy space and end up going on the grass, but thankfully he kind of backs out of it and through the of the fast right here. This just really just didn't want to be side by side really, because you can either get forced out into the gravel. Remember that happened to Gasly in Formula 1 a couple of years back. But we come down now to the second chicane. Again, just people going deep. Cars ever. I hit the chicane, just bumped there really, and he rear ends me again. Kind of lapsadaisically from him, because I could see that coming from a mile away. But that is 2 cars passing us, 2 more Lambos again. So up to P12, back to 14. So I think from here on now, for a couple laps, it's pretty line astern. I do believe it's pretty normal. These 2 guys here in front seem to have better pace than me. We jump a couple of corners ahead as we're coming into the power vault final corner. This guy here decides to go around the outside. I just try and stay consistent on the inside. Again, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on my radar at the top of the screen and just keeping an eye where his positioning was. At this point, the McLaren behind me looked quicker. You see the run, he gets out of the final corner, so again, I don't really try and defend him too much. I try to do the same thing with him, where as soon as he gets past, I'll just dive into his slipstream. And McLaren seems very quick in a straight line. This time I am making sure not to touch anyone. I feel like even the previous lap wasn't my fault. Now this one, again, unsure. I'm side by side the whole way. He just kind of turns and hits me. Now, we kind of collide on the change direction, so I don't know, did he try to turn in and squeeze me like Lewis and Max in Formula 1, or is it just a bit of a blind spot, couldn't see me? But he does hold position as he kind of hits me. I get pushed onto the curb. But we're going to see here now, that pink and blue Lamborghini behind. He goes to the outside. I brake where I can brake. He shoots down the inside, shoots down the outside, goes to the inside, and somehow misses the McLaren. That guy in the BMW just hops across the curb, gives me light damage on the front right. Don't know what he was attempting there, because that curb on the inside, I hit it in the previous lap, the big sausage, and it just absolutely throws the car into the air. And that guy looked like he had hit it straight on really, because you could see just the way he came from behind. It just bounced across my screen into my corner. But we fast forward now, we're about half race distance. We started to catch slower cars in front. We're back down to P16 now with all these incidents. More cars kicking up dust. It's a typical Monza race really, this one's great fun. We get a good run. Another pink car behind me. I don't believe this is the same one, but we're in the slipstream here of P15 and we're trying to get up now. I decide to go to the outside. Hopefully he defends the position and I get the run. Previously someone else did that to me, except this, I believe, is that a Ferrari behind me? Can't see it in my mirrors until now, but he gets a great run. And out of the corner he gets a massively better drive than me. I try and jump in a slipstream, but for now I'm kind of just boxed in really. I don't have anywhere to go because I don't seem to be getting great drive out of the last corner. I do believe my traction and my ABS, because I just jumped straight in, it wasn't set up to be exact. I have a quick look, nothing doing. 3, 2, 1, don't know what that was. They just absolutely murdered each other into turn 1. I think that's like 4 instances already we've had in turn 1, so turn 1 is always just is chaos, so it was great fun. The car in front of me is, I believe, the guy that knocked me off at the next chicane a couple laps ago and gave me damage. The BMW, I believe that's him ahead. Now definitely I was quicker than him, I do catch him, but it's a bit of a gap at the moment. Now you just see there, even see the size of all the rubber marks on it. It's just such a big curve, and you can just see if you hit that straight on, you are going straight over. Like, so it's a dangerous piece of track to be on. But 22, 23 cars kind of in and out of this race, and we're down in P14. We're not doing too bad considering. Again, we are gaining quite substantially on the car in front of us. I just don't feel like this Ferrari is the quickest thing in a straight line. I just wonder, is it me getting poor exits with the higher traction? But I was just having so much fun this race because I had the podcast on. I was skitting to myself with all these incidents, and it only gets better in a minute. You'll see some of the chat in a minute. I believe that is the Skechers BMW that walloped me a while ago. It could be the same car and different driver, but I had a feeling it was the same guy judging on the part of the track we're on. But again, I just didn't get great exit. The BMW does pull away the M6, and I'm being caught again. There's someone appearing in my mirrors, and now we have a yellow flag to do. I believe that is back in the chicane though. We get too close to the back from there, that really slows me down. And then again, this pink boy behind me is right up, and again I go to the inside, make him go around the outside. He sticks his nose in, so I give him the room. And now he has slipstream. So at this point I'm thinking there's probably going to be more drama into turn 1. You can see the BMW again goes very defensive, and then here in a second rolls off, and I'm going, oh, what's he doing? Is he going to send us, or what's he going to be? Completely backs out of it, and a bit perplexing really. But right in front goes a touch deep. I was thinking maybe I can get a better drive, but again he seems quite a bit quicker than me. so I don't get anywhere near him in the brakes, and he just launches out of the first couple of corners. But the BMW behind is just going to drop back further, so I'm not really sure what he was doing. Maybe he just had so many incidents in the race in turn 1 that he just was afraid to go in there side by side in another car and just kind of left it off. Fast forward a lap, you can see what the boy in front has done to me, but let's see here, get yellow flags in a second. He was going really fast, but he was clearly at his limit because he goes off, kind of loses on the exit of turn 1, kind of goes straight off before turn 2, so that puts us up into P11, would you believe? Now, this is where the fun starts happening in chat. We'll see here in a second now, some people spamming chat, and we'll see poor Coutinho's name popping up. Are you serious? Middle of the corner, report 723. I don't know who 723 is. I believe it is Coutinho. And we get a beautiful message in a second, and there will be a freeze frame. Intentional collision, and here it is. Look at that. I mean, I was reading that at the time of racing, and I think I laughed all the way to turn 1 after reading that. It was so funny because whatever Coutinho, I didn't see him once on track. He was behind me at the start of the race, and after the incident in turn 1, turn 3 and turn 4, really didn't see him again. He's in chat, people are giving out of him, so I don't know, is he just off the race line parking, or is he just dive on people, or is he taking people out? But whatever he's doing, it's just the remainder of the race is just him constantly getting given out to in chat, and it's pretty funny because he's annoyed so many people. You see here in a second, please ban him. I don't know what he's done, but poor boy is absolutely ruining people's races, and I think somebody on the last lap absolutely T-bones him, because we start the last lap, leader is on the last lap, I have 10 seconds left in the race, so this will be my last lap, and we're somehow up to P9, but we still have a lot to gain yet on this lap. You'll see in a second. Come up to the second chicane. At this point now we're getting actually into kind of decent groove at the track. I'm starting to kind of understand the braking zones and starting to figure out David Coutinho why he says so. You'll see a lot of back chat and chatter now in a second through chatting. At this point I'm trying to race as well as keep a steady pace and keep an eye on the gaps around me, keep an eye on everything, and you just see chat there again, sorry for the glitches, but I was aiming. This guy here on the outside of Lesmo 2 on the right, he was taken out by can't remember which guy took him out, but he was taken out by someone that was trying to take out Coutinho, so it just was, the whole race just expired at the fact that Coutinho murdered a few people and then they got pissed and tried to kill him, and it was just really entertaining for me to watch. Yeah, Leroux, by the looks of his name, is some sort of French name. He took out that poor green Lamborghini in Lesmo 2, trying to nerf off the other car, and it's just created absolute chaos in this race. And we're up to P7 as we come into the final corner for the final time, and even Simone, who was the green car off, was kind of like, yeah, it's good. He kind of took one for the team and knew who was a bit of collateral damage. He seemed okay, which is quite funny. But we're come up to the line now. It was just a crazy race. On the last lap we equal pretty much our PB. I think we do slightly set our PB, but yeah, it was just a weird one, and it was just so funny. And again, poor Coutinho, I don't know what he had done. It was just gas, but the whole race I was laughing to myself because poor Coutinho was just getting abused in chat, and then at the end of the race he just comes back saying why, which I got a good kick out of at the time. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed something different on the channel, a bit of ACC. By no means am I an amazing driver on this game, I completely understand. I think I only have like 35-40 hours in this game, so I'm completely novice entry level, but it was just good fun. You can see they're still kicking off in chat, and I think they're all getting settled down now. But I'm going to end it there. Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of style video, maybe some live com. The only issue with live com is my microphone is mounted to my table and my wheel keeps kicking it off, so it's just a small issue, that the fact that a lot of vibrations come through the mic and stuff. But we're going to end there. Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know in the comments again if you want to see more ACC or iRacing or anything else. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon. It's long ago.